Synopsys orders China sales shutdown amid tightening U.S. chip curbs. Synopsys has ordered its China-based staff to halt all sales and services and to stop accepting new orders in response to fresh U.S. export restrictions, according to an internal letter obtained by Reuters. The impacted items include semiconductor design software and related chemicals. The new export controls may also affect Cadence Design Systems, Keysight Technologies, and Ansys, the latter currently being acquired by Synopsys. Department of Energy scraps $3.7 billion in Biden-era clean energy grants, citing hasty approvals. The U.S. Department of Energy has terminated 24 clean energy project awards worth a combined $3.7 billion, many of which were granted under the Biden administration. The canceled awards included major investments in carbon capture and hydrogen technologies, such as $332 million to ExxonMobil's Baytown refinery, $500 million to Heidelberg Materials for low-carbon cement, and $375 million to Eastman Chemical's recycling plant. Energy Secretary Chris Wright accused the previous administration of hastily approving the awards between Election Day and the end of President Biden's term, alleging they failed to conduct a thorough financial review before signing away billions of taxpayer dollars.
Anthropic skyrockets to $3 billion run rate in AI revenue surge. Anthropic has hit a $3 billion annualized revenue run rate just 5 months after crossing $1 billion. According to Reuters, Anthropic reached $2 billion by the end of March and climbed to $3 billion by June, driven by strong demand from enterprise clients for its AI models. This B2B success contrasts with rival OpenAI's primarily consumer-focused strategy. OpenAI is projected to hit $12.7 billion in revenue by the end of 2025. Tesla not interested in local manufacturing, Indian minister says. Elon Musk's Tesla is unlikely to begin manufacturing electric vehicles in India anytime soon, according to India's Union Minister of Heavy Industries, H.D. Kumaraswamy, who spoke on June 2, 2025. Despite India's new incentive-rich EV policy aimed at attracting global automakers, Tesla appears focused on importing and selling cars rather than producing them locally. Tesla only wants to open showrooms and sell imported cars, Kumaraswamy said Monday, as reported by The Economic Times.
Steel stocks surge as Trump doubles tariffs on imports. Europe threatens retaliation. She call looms. U.S. steel stocks surged after former President Donald Trump announced plans to double tariffs on imported steel and aluminum from 25% to 50%, effective June 4th. Cleveland Cliffs soared 23.16%. Steel Dynamics rose 10.27%, and Nucor jumped 10.10% on the news. Meanwhile, the European Commission warned of potential retaliatory trade measures in response to the tariff hike. Additionally, Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping are expected to hold talks later this week, according to White House sources cited by CNBC. Model Y powers 213% Tesla surge in Norway, but EU sales slide. Tesla's sales in Norway soared 213% year-over-year in May to 2,600 vehicles, largely due to generous EV incentives such as free parking for EVs, toll road discounts, and access to bus lanes and the debut of the revamped Model Y. In contrast, Tesla struggled across the rest of Europe, with sales plummeting in Sweden down 53.7% in May, year-over-year, down 67% in France, down 68% in Portugal, down 30.5% in Denmark, down 36% in the Netherlands, and down 19% in Spain. While the broader European EV market grew 1.3% year-over-year, Tesla's sales in Europe were down 53% to 5,475 vehicles and down 49% to 7,261 vehicles when including the UK, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland. Although the controversy surrounding CEO Elon Musk is often cited for the sluggish sales, the company also faces stiff competition from cheaper Chinese rivals, as well as a shortage of Tesla's most popular Model Y early this year, while the vehicle underwent a design remodel.
BioNTech and Bristol Myers Inc. $11.1 billion cancer drug pact. Bristol Myers Squibb is entering a licensing agreement worth up to $11.1 billion with BioNTech to jointly develop and commercialize BNT327, an immunotherapy bispecific antibody targeting PD-L1 and VEGF-A for solid tumors. BNT327 is already in a phase 3 trial as a first-line treatment in extensive-stage small cell lung cancer and non-small cell lung cancer, with another trial in triple-negative breast cancer expected by year-end. year-end. Bristol-Myers Squibb will pay $1.5 billion upfront, $2 billion in combined non-contingent anniversary payments through 2028, and up to $7.6 billion in milestones payments. The companies will share costs and global profits equally. Hims & Hers acquires Zava platform to launch branded presence across Europe. Hims & Hers is expanding its footprint in Europe through a 100% cash acquisition of digital health platform Zava, funded from its balance sheet. The move will strengthen its presence in the UK and mark official entries into Germany, France, and Ireland. The company plans to roll out its own branded presence using the Zava platform in these markets in the coming quarters. The deal, expected to close in the second half of the year, is anticipated to be accretive by 2026. The terms of the transaction were not disclosed. Hims & Hers anticipates entering into more markets soon.
Constellation signs 20-year nuclear power deal with Meta to meet AI energy demands. The deal to sell power from its Clinton nuclear plant in Illinois will help sustain the plant's operations post-2027 after the state's zero-emission credit program ends, and will expand the plant's clean energy output by 30 megawatts through upgrades. The deal is the first of its kind in the U.S. involving an operating nuclear plant, according to the Wall Street Journal, though it mirrors a previous 20-year agreement between Constellation and Microsoft tied to restarting 3 Mile Island's undamaged reactor, which already was undergoing decommissioning. Neither agreement removes power from the grid. Constellation is also exploring options to extend its existing site permit or obtain a new one to potentially develop an advanced or small modular nuclear reactor at the Clinton site.
Joby Aviation eyes $1 billion Middle East opportunity with new Saudi distribution deal. Joby Aviation surged on Tuesday after signing a memorandum of understanding with Abdul Latif Jameel to explore a distribution agreement for its electric aircraft in Saudi Arabia. The companies foresee potential deliveries of up to 200 aircraft and related services valued at about $1 billion in the coming years, with long-term revenue opportunities across the Middle East. Direct sales through businesses like Abdul Latif Jameel will be a key part of Joby's commercialization plan. Joby plans to carry its first passengers in Dubai in 2026.
Aspera taps Redwire's pillbox technology for breakthrough cancer treatment study. Redwire secured a contract from Aspera Biomedicines to perform space-based research on a new cancer treatment using Redwire's pharmaceutical in-space laboratory, pillbox technology. This mission will support Aspera's development of rebexinib, a small molecule ADAR1 inhibitor recently approved by the FDA to start first-in-human trials. Electrovaya secures $6.3 million battery order from Fortune 100 e-commerce company. Electrovaya announced purchase orders worth approximately $6.3 million through its OEM sales channel from a leading U.S. Fortune 100 e-commerce company. The batteries will power material handling electric vehicles across multiple distribution centers. These orders add to earlier ones this fiscal year, bringing cumulative demand from the customer to over $16 million, with more orders under consideration.
Redwire's Lunar and Martian construction tech clears NASA design review. Redwire Corporation announced on Wednesday that its advanced lunar and Martian manufacturing technology, the Mason tool suite, has successfully passed NASA's critical design review. Developed under a $12.9 million tipping point award, Mason is intended to build infrastructure like berms, landing pads, and roads for future lunar and Martian habitats to support long-term human presence and exploration. Designed to be scalable and platform agnostic for use on different landers, rovers, or robotic arms, Mason can convert lunar or Martian regolith into solid, concrete-like material.
Rare earths emerge as hidden trigger in U.S.-China trade disputes. Rare earth elements, critical for automotive, military, and tech industries, are quietly becoming a flashpoint in U.S.-China trade tensions. Despite last month's thaw in tariff disputes after talks in Geneva, China is maintaining tight export controls on rare earths, while the U.S. has hiked tariffs on steel and aluminum. Carmakers like GM and Toyota warn that limited access could cripple production of essential components, while defense firms like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin face similar risks. Though rare earths are not truly scarce, their processing is environmentally challenging and heavily dominated by China, which controls 90% of global refining. Efforts to establish U.S. production are expected to take 5 to 10 years, keeping the issue central in trade and geopolitical negotiations with Ukraine and the Trump administration's play for Greenland. Cleveland-Cliffs abandons $500 million hydrogen steel project over fuel shortage. Cleveland-Cliffs has officially scrapped its $500 million hydrogen-based steel project in Middletown, Ohio, due to concerns over insufficient clean hydrogen supply. Instead, the company will focus on extending the life of its coal-fired blast furnace. CEO Lourenco Goncalves pointed to delays in hydrogen production and uncertainty around Trump administration policies as decisive factors, despite a $500 million grant from the U.S. Department of Energy under President Biden that aimed to support the hydrogen transition. Goncalves said that even with the grant, Cleveland-Cliffs would need to spend an additional $1.1 billion, bringing the total cost to $1.6 billion. The company is now in talks with the Trump administration to renegotiate the grant based on evolving energy priorities. Without hydrogen, the entire thing falls apart, Goncalves said at an event hosted by the American Iron and Steel Institute. At the very least, I will not have hydrogen at the time I need for that specific project. Trump and Xi pledge trade talks after very good phone call. U.S. President Donald Trump said Thursday that he had a very good phone call with Chinese President Xi Jinping, which resulted in a very positive conclusion for the two nations. Trump stated, "The conversation was focused almost entirely on trade. Nothing was discussed concerning Russia, Ukraine, or Iran." He also noted, "There should no longer be any questions respecting the complexity of rare earth products." Trump added that he had been invited by Xi to visit China and that he had also reciprocated. Meanwhile, China's national broadcaster CCTV reported that Xi urged Trump to remove negative measures against China and emphasize the need to reduce misunderstandings. Both leaders reportedly agreed to begin a new round of trade talks as soon as possible. "We will inform the media as to scheduling and location of the soon-to-be meeting," Trump said. Trump-Musk showdown erupts over Big Beautiful Bill. Tesla loses $100 billion. A heated clash has erupted between Donald Trump and Elon Musk over the president's One Big Beautiful Bill, which slashes EV incentives and adds substantial spending. Musk called the bill a disgusting abomination and said it would massively increase the already gigantic budget deficit. Trump said that he doesn't know if he will still have a great relationship with the Tesla CEO anymore. The verbal sparring hit the electric vehicle maker's stock, with Tesla shedding over $100 billion in market cap. Trump insisted Musk knew the bill well and only turned critical after losing EV subsidies. Musk denied seeing the bill, accused Trump of being in the Epstein files, and warned of retaliatory steps, including halting SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft. "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate," the billionaire went on to add.
Qualcomm finalizes Autotalks acquisition following FTC hurdles. Autotalks V2X technology helps prevent collisions by allowing vehicles to communicate seamlessly with each other and their surroundings. Financial terms of the acquisition were not revealed. Silver hits 13-year high as investors seek safe havens beyond gold. Silver futures soared to their highest level since February 2012, reaching $36.27 per ounce in July delivery, driven by growing investor demand for precious metals beyond gold. Silver has gained over 20% in the past year, with tariff war bolstering its appeal as a haven and central banks maintaining elevated levels of buying, although it still trails gold's 44% rise over the same period.